When we look back on this episode of Monday Night Raw, what's the biggest thing coming out of this show? What was the big thing going into it was the fact that Vince McMahon was returning. And before we get to Monday Night Raw, we have a little bit of news from update on Vince's return tonight and why it was intriguing in the first place, and this comes from WrestleVotes. According to WrestleVotes, Vince McMahon wasn't really interested in returning to WWE television. That makes sense given that the chairman reportedly wanted to take a step back in order to focus more on the XFL, and it also showcased the situation WWE finds him into heading into the Royal Rumble. WrestleVotes tweeted, and I quote, "Tonight's Vince McMahon angle is legitimately intriguing. I heard Vince really didn't want to come back to TV, so this shows signs of desperation." This is their tweet, and what a lot of us have been saying is he really going to hit the reset button? Not sure, but is Raw in the need of a facelift either way? Now, it wasn't just Vince McMahon on this show tonight. It was Vince, Stephanie, Shane, and Triple H. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? The McMahons take control Raw and SmackDown Live. So that means there is no more commissioners of Raw and SmackDown. It is a united front of Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H.
What's going on Monday night?
And first off, to anybody in Sacramento who was there at the show tonight, if you have ever said, man, this show sucks, I'm getting bored with this show, if you were in this arena tonight and you ever complained about Raw being a terrible show, you are a fucking hypocrite. Because Vince McMahon comes out, everyone's singing his theme song, everyone's bowing to him, everyone's cheering for him. What the fuck? Everybody wants to see change in WWE, yet you're going to sit there and cheer the guy who has been writing the show over and over, this guy who's been a part of this all. Are you serious?
Oh, I'm sure you asked that question. Because Monday Night Raw has been on the air for over 25 years. That's extraordinary.
And the way it's going, it will not see another 25.
One of the reasons for our success, of course, is we change with the times. The times need a changing. Just that. We change for the times.
Haven't changed for the times in years.
Despite one man's brilliance, despite one man's creativity, one man's vision, can't do it all by myself anymore, that's for sure. I can do it without you guys, though. Yeah. So with that in mind, we have a family reunion on Monday night.
Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and yada yada yada.
Because we haven't been doing a very good job for you lately.
What? You don't say. It took you 6, 7, 8, I don't know, 10 years at least to admit that?
We haven't been doing the one thing that my father has always taught us to do, and that's listen to our audience.
The last time you listened to your audience in any way, shape, or form was the Daniel Bryan story going into WrestleMania 30. 4 years ago.
We've let middle managers air their petty grievances. We've been suffocating our superstars, and all of that is going to change, and it starts tonight.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Oh, what the heck is happening? But spoiler alert, it doesn't change tonight. And I did something wrong. But, yes, so this is just one of those things that WWE has to say to, you know, try to please the fans. Come on.
And it starts tonight.
Sheep. Absolute sheep.
We're off to a fresh start.
The days of absentee management are over. As of now, the four of us will be taking back
That is the absolute worst decision they could make. Absentee management. I mean, I don't know. How often in NXT do we see William Regal on a weekly basis? How often? We don't. But everything seems to run just fine down in NXT. We don't have to see 6 or 7 segments taken up on a weekly or a monthly basis by William Regal and it's just that just makes things worse.
And that goes for SmackDown Live as well, because the 4 of us are personally responsible to ensuring that all of you have the best possible experience that there is.
We're going to empower our superstars and empower all of you.
And more importantly, we're going to give you what you want. Something new, something fresh. In the coming weeks and months, you will be seeing new faces, new superstars, new matchups. As of now, you are the authority. And as long as we give you less of what you don't want and more of what you do, WWE will always be then, now, and forever.
Explain to me, how is this going to work? How are you going to give us the power to be the authority? So basically, all they're saying is the authority is back on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Vince, Shane, Stephanie, and Triple H are going to be running the show. How are they going to how are they going to empower their superstars? How are they going to empower the fans and give us what we want? I would really like to see that. Now, I will say that there was maybe two positives out of this show completely, and that was one, that Tyler Breeze had a championship opportunity for the Intercontinental title, and the fact that the Revival won a number 1 contendership fatal 4-way to face Bobby Roode and Chad Gable at a later time. That has not been decided. The one problem with them going with this change, or quote-unquote change this week, is that next week's show is, while I'm recording this, is being taped for next week because it is going to be on Christmas Eve, and last year they got a lot of flack for having their superstars work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. So they're going to tape Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So I don't get how this whole change is going to be. This just reeks of it'll be good for 1 week, and then the next thing you know, it's going to be the authority doing whatever the hell they want again. This is just... Ugh. Now, we go for commercial break. We come back, and Baron Corbin is in the ring with the Mcmahons and Triple H, and he is trying to explain his actions recently.
Every night I come out here and I do my absolute best. It's not...
Oh yeah, they wouldn't let him talk. Like the booze, and this is what's sad. WWE has these fans trained to oh, Seth Rollins came out last week and was like, Baron Corbin, it's your fault. Baron Corbin, the rating sucks because of you. The fan morale is down because of you. It's your fault. Not Vince McMahon, who's been writing the show for the last 25 years. No, it's not Vince's fault. So the booze and the hate that Baron Corbin got should have been put on Vince McMahon. Sheep, sheep, sheep. Daniel Bryan was right, you are sheep.
Topic of last night. Braun Strowman was not supposed to be here. to say it was unfair. You were out here to say this whole thing was some travesty of justice, and you would like us to reconsider you as the permanent general manager of Raw. Let me just, is that right?
That's exactly right. I'm thrilled that you guys are here to right that wrong. Look, I would have beat Braun Strowman if it hadn't been for Apollo Crews, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Finn Balor, Heath Slater, and Kurt Angle. So are you going to let that travesty stand? Or are you going to overturn the ruling and make me the permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw? I mean, just think about, no. Just think about what we can accomplish with you guys backing me.
Oh God, they huddle up.
That's a big negative for me. Nope, I don't see it.
I mean, to quote my father's entrance music, I think there's actually no chance in hell.
Why not? Why not?
Oh God.
Might be a way.
Now they huddle up again, like children.
Well, Vince being the genius that he is, he brings up a good point. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you deserve a chance to be named permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw. Maybe this all goes away.
That's all I need is a chance. I mean, chance.
I say, we give Baron Corbin that chance. I say, if you can win your match tonight, right now, you can become the permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw. All you have to do is beat this man.
And it would happen to be Kurt Angle. Now we had Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle to open the show after the, McMahon promo. This week's a desperation. WWE doing everything they can to try and do what? I don't know. It's just desperation. They know that this time next year, if they're not getting the ratings up on SmackDown, and everyone knows if Raw is doing terrible, SmackDown is going to do just as bad, because why would I watch SmackDown for the majority of people? Why am I going to spend a Tuesday night wasting my time watching SmackDown when I just watched a shitty show of Monday Night Raw? So, this is why this is happening. Is it a good thing? No. Is it a great thing? No. This is just same shit, different day. The authority's back on Raw and SmackDown. Yay. Said no one ever. So yes, we had Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. This match started out as a singles match. Didn't last that long, because Kurt Angle, we went to a commercial break, and surprisingly, we didn't come back with a headlock arrest hold by Baron Corbin. He starts laying in punches onto Kurt Angle when Triple H comes out and says, whoa, it was kind of loud out here, so I didn't get a chance to tell you that it's a handicap match. Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. I still don't get this. Someone has to refresh my memory, but where in this entire thing for Baron Corbin wronging guys like Finn Balor, like Bobby Roode, and Chad Gable, where does Apollo Crews come into any of this? Apollo Crews, I don't remember ever getting beat down by Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, being screwed out of matches by Baron Corbin. He's just a babyface that they just threw out there because, one, Finn Balor had a match later in the night with Dolph Ziggler, and two, I don't really have a two, but it's like, where does Apollo Crews fit into this? They all come out, and by the way, Heath Slater was the referee for this match. I don't know what's going on with the Heath Slater referee gig, but it is the only match he ref tonight. These guys beat down on Baron Corbin. Heath Slater does the dumb thing of he's like, well, I'm going to let you guys beat this guy down. I'm going to go check on this turnbuckle while all four guys beat down Baron Corbin. And Shane comes out and is like, I forgot to mention something too. This is now no disqualification. Everyone but Heath goes out to get chairs while Heath Slater gets a couple kicks in on Baron Corbin. Everybody beats down on Baron Corbin with chairs. Angle slam. Crowd chants, we want tables. Crowd doesn't get tables during the match. 1, 2, 3. Of course, Baron Corbin lost. Then everyone, like Chad Gable, Bobby Roode, and I believe Apollo Crews went out and grabbed the table. And Baron Corbin got put through a table. So the Sacramento crowd loved it, I guess. But same old shit, different day. Then we had Finn Balor versus Dolph Ziggler. This match came after last night, where Finn Balor was helped by Dolph Ziggler to beat Drew McIntyre at TLC. Then a little bit later, Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler got into a little spat in the back. Dolph Ziggler beat down, threw Finn Balor into a couple of crates, and that set up this match. These two are having it's pretty decent match, and I'm still sitting here wondering, when is the fresh faces, the new matchup supposed to be happening? Because having Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor wrestled multiple times in the summertime, neither one of these guys win because Drew McIntyre comes out, tries to get involved immediately, but Dolph Ziggler jumps on him, starts wailing on him, and then Finn Balor does a tope con hilo to the outside. Those two go back inside, brawl a little bit more until Drew McIntyre comes in, takes out both men with claymores, and that was that. Then we had Dean Ambrose coming out with his masked men. This one I saw a mile away. This entire setup I saw a mile away when it came to Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, which of course this is not over. I highly expect some kind of gimmick match at the Royal Rumble between these two. We still have 6 weeks. We still have 5 more Raws until we get to not Hell in a Cell, but the Royal Rumble. But Dean Ambrose tries to provoke Seth Rollins.
You should be showing me some respect. Disgusting vermin, you disgusting people should be sitting up on your fat little hooves and bowing down to me right now. Everything that I said would happen last night at TLC happened. Just like I told you what happened. Seth Rollins spun out of control. Seth Rollins lost control. He dropped the ball. The fourth quarter, at the buzzer, he choked. He failed. He failed himself, and he failed all of you people. Now let's be clear, all right? I don't need respect. I don't need anything from you people because I have this. I took the most important thing in Seth Rollins' life, and I'm not done. I'm just getting started. When I'm done, Seth Rollins will have nothing left. Nothing. I'm gonna take Seth Rollins' career, his reputation as this great guy you all think he is, and I'm gonna drag it through the mud and throw it in the gutter where it belongs. But there is another option, because I am the moral compass of WWE. I have an obligation to do the right thing. I have an obligation to give Seth an opportunity to come out here and be a man of character, a man of integrity, to come out here face to face right now and tell me and tell the whole world that I was right. Come out here right now, Seth, face to face, and tell everybody. It's not enough to know it. It's not enough to know that I'm right. I want to hear you say it. I want you to come out here right now, face to face, man to man, and tell everybody I was right and you are wrong.
I also have the preference that Dean Ambrose has a masked guy with a gas mask on each part of the ring. So there are 4 guys out there just standing there watching Dean Ambrose cut this promo. And I'm just thinking, This is got to be the most predictable thing that they could do. And until we are done with this and what happens with the match, I'll give you that to figure out where Seth Rollins was.
This is gonna be good. Come on, Seth. Your reputation is on the line, my friend. Come on out here. Seth playing some mind games of his own tonight.
That seemed to.
Okay. Okay, I have an idea. Try this. Seth, how about open challenge? Not for this, of course, because you don't deserve that. But I figure after last night, maybe you just really want to come out here and punch me in the face a few more times, huh? Come on, Seth, come on out here. Take out your rage on me. Take out your anger, your frustrations. Come on out. Just goes to show Seth Rollins is not the man you thought he was. He's no hero. All right, he's just like each and every one of you. The selfish little whiner who always has to get his way, and when things don't go his way, he falls apart, he crumbles. Surprised Rollins isn't out here yet. Seth Rollins lost the Intercontinental Championship last night, and he can't even come out here and show his face. All right, well, none of that worked. I have a new idea. Since Seth Rollins doesn't have the guts to come out here tonight, I'm going to steal a page out of the Architect's playbook. We're going to have an Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge for anybody in the back not named Seth Rollins, and we're going to do that right now.
And that one guy would be Tyler Breeze. So within a week of his last match showing up on TV, Tyler Breeze has challenged for the North American Championship in NXT, and then on Monday Night Raw challenges for the Intercontinental Championship. And again, this was one of the great spots of this show, was the fact that Tyler Breeze, no, he did not win the match, but he got to show what he can do and remind, again, everybody in the back, I'm better than what you guys think I am. If you give me a chance. There was a couple of times in this match towards the end it looked like Tyler Breeze could have won the Intercontinental Championship. Supermodel kick, beauty shot, diving crossbody off the top rope. This guy took it to Dean Ambrose, but in the end, we saw a dirty deed from Dean Ambrose for the 1, 2, 3. Tyler Breeze was gone. Dean Ambrose said that was the fight of the Intercontinental Champion, of a true Intercontinental Champion. That was that's how a champion wrestles. Unlike Seth Rollins, he kept mocking Seth Rollins. Then you heard "Burn It Down." Seth Rollins' music hits, and then the cronies go up to the ring, up to the aisle, except for, of course, this was the most predictable part of this at all. Seth Rollins was disguised as one of the cronies, one of his masked cronies, and he beats him down a little bit. And then, of course, the other three guys come back in. Seth Rollins fights them off, and that was that. We go to the back, and Shane McMahon is being asked about what this new regime, even though they call it a new regime, it's not a new regime. It's the authority back in power again. So expect to see everybody that you hated on Monday Night Raw again. But he gets interrupted by Lars Sullivan, not by Lars Sullivan, the AOP and Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick wants a mandatory rematch for the tag team titles. Shane says the mandatory rematch has been abolished, which I don't buy that one bit. They'll just use that whenever the hell they feel like it. But a mandatory rematch has been abolished, so we're going to make a fatal four-way between the B Team, the AOP, the Revival, and the Lucha House Party. By the way, finally, thank fucking God, those Lucha House rules have been abolished. But the winners would be the number one contenders for the Tag Team Championships. Now, after that, we go back to Cole, Graves, and Renee and Young, and they say that there are going to be some new faces coming to WWE. Those new faces are EC3, Lars Sullivan, who's been promoted since Survivor Series, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, and Heavy Machinery. EC3, Lars Sullivan, Nikki Cross make absolute 100% sense. They do. Lars Sullivan has been promoted since Survivor Series. Nikki Cross ended up on SmackDown for an episode. I don't know if these guys, they said in the package coming to WWE. They didn't say what brand, so it will depend on what we see tomorrow night, which, by the way, I need to fix my overlay for tomorrow night, since there has been a title change, but that's neither here nor there. So, I can honestly see, like, Lars Sullivan and EC3 going to Raw, to SmackDown, Nikki Cross going to SmackDown, Lacey Evans and Heavy Machinery coming to Raw, if these are the only 6. But Lacey Evans, like Heavy Machinery, I could see coming up to SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, or SmackDown Live, because they've been down in NXT for well over a year, and they are way over with the fans. Lacey Evans, it just feels like it'd be too soon for her. She'd be like a Liv Morgan or Nia Jax or some of those others who have come up who should not be anywhere near the title, anywhere near the main roster. She hasn't been in NXT. She's been in NXT for what? I think it's been about a year. Heavy Machinery, I know, have been down for about 2 years. EC3, honestly, he should have been in NXT for about a cup of coffee and then on the main roster by SummerSlam. Just saying. EC3 never really needed much of NXT. EC3 was TV ready, but, you know, everyone goes to NXT. Lars Sullivan, I still say, is not ready. And WWE is bringing him up way too soon. Speaking of other debuts or returns, we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn both getting hype packages. This is the one thing I do like about how WWE is hyping up everything. I like hype packages for superstars coming up or returning. I just don't want to focus a superstar returning the night after WrestleMania with no clue that they were coming. Yes, that surprise is okay every once in a while, but I like to have that, oh, it's coming, no, like, this person's coming soon, or they're returning. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see them come back. Hopefully, when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do come back, they're still a tag team, because the tag team division dearly would need them, and I would love to see them win the Raw tag team titles. And 2, they are not buried, and they can actually be used for something good instead of just being thrown out there. It's like, hey, it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, cheer for them. Now watch them get beat by Kevin Owens, by Finn Balor, getting beat by Braun Strowman. So that's 6. They said it's the 6 superstars, and they said coming to WWE. They did not specify if the NXT superstars are coming to Raw or SmackDown. Now, if we go to SmackDown tomorrow night and we see a graphic for 5 or 6 other superstars, then okay, everybody we saw tonight is going to Raw. But we don't know that yet. It just said coming to WWE. We had Lashley Leo Rush in the ring with a broken guitar. It's the same old shit, different day promo with him showing off his poses, and his favorite pose, let's show his ass. This leads to Elias cracking him in the back with the guitar, so that feud is obviously not dead. Let's see what we have here. B-Team versus Revival versus DLP versus Lucha House Party. I don't like Fatal 4-Way Triple Threat tag team matches like this, simply because it's just way too hectic. You could sit there and try and go up. If you're one of those people who does a blow-by-blow counts, it's just way too much. You can't tell half the time who's even the legal man. But the good news is the Revival won this match with a Shadow Machine on Bo Dallas for the 1, 2, 3. So Bobby Roode and Chad Gable will hopefully be dropping those titles to the Revival, and the Revival can have a legitimate tag team title reign. Seth Rollins was asked about last night, said it was a disaster. In more ways than one, man. Your match was goddamn boring. But here's the thing. Seth, he said Dean Ambrose got in his head, and I heard the crowd. And that's on me. That's on me. I take responsibility for that. And I move on and move forward. And I have done this. Everything I've done and I've sacrificed for is for this. For me being here. Then Baron Corbin comes in. And actually, they do have this. So you can hear Seth Rollins' words for himself. But Seth Rollins definitely acknowledging things that, yeah. Whoever produced that match last night between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose should be reprimanded or fired, because that match sucked.
We're able to get a bit of revenge coverage on Dean Ambrose earlier tonight, but I wanted to ask you about last night.
Last night was a disaster. Personally, professionally, for me, everything was wrong. I let Dean Ambrose get inside my head. I let him take my Intercontinental Championship. Top it all off, I heard that crowd last night. I heard every single thing they had to say. That's on me. That is my responsibility. I've got to own that and move forward. This isn't just about my performance in the ring. This isn't just about losing championships. This is my life. This is what I love. This is everything that I've dedicated everything to. It's gone off the rails. But I'm going to write this ship. That starts ending. Dean Ambrose. Can I help you?
Baron Corbin shows up.
Everybody thought I was doing a good job as general manager.
Nobody thought you were doing as good job as general manager. What the hell are you talking about, Corbin?
Until you said something. You voted me into a TLC match. You're the reason Braun Strowman caught me off guard.
Yeah, sure.
You have turned the whole locker room against me. You're the reason the McMahons are back in charge. You know all those things Rose said about you? True. If half the locker room hadn't just attacked me, I'd take your Intercontinental Championship. That's right. Ambrose already did that. Now, Corbin.
Good night. And one stiff shot later, Corbin is on his ass again. So, it looks like we're probably going towards a Baron Corbin-Seth Rollins feud. I don't want to see that whatsoever. Seth Rollins is above a feud with Corbin. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. The only thing left on the night was, well, Ronda Rousey coming out, and it was like 10:30, I believe it was, when she came out. I'm like, what's going to happen next? They had nothing else advertised outside of Ronda Rousey live. She comes out, and they don't have it up on YouTube yet, so I'm just going to try and paraphrase. She pretty much said that she came out, she doesn't apologize for what she did last night. And she came out with, talked about the definition of being a champion. Like, saying winning matches is not the only thing about being a champion. Long story short, she starts talking, and then she's like, I'm issuing an open challenge right here, right now. Who's going to take the call? We wait for a few seconds, maybe a minute or two, and then they go to the back, and everyone outside of Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Tamina are sitting in Gorilla, screaming at the PA guy or whoever does the graphics for the person to call their name, and because everyone wants a shot at Ronda Rousey. So Stephanie is like, hey, follow me. And takes all the women out to the stage and says, Ronda, each and every one of these women want a championship shot at you. They all deserve a shot. And I'm like, I see Alicia Fox. I see Dana Brooke. What have these two done? I see Liv Morgan. I see Sarah Logan. What have those two done to earn a championship, to deserve a championship opportunity? What has Mickie James done? What has Bayley and Sasha Banks done? None of these women. So yes, we got an 8-woman gauntlet match. The winner faces Ronda Rousey at next week's episode, the taped episode of Monday Night Raw. So by the time I'm done with this and this is uploaded, like most of Monday Night Raw next week will be already done. So first off, whoever wins this match, it's just irrelevant. It's irrelevant whoever won this match, for the simple fact is you're not beating Ronda Rousey. Unless a heel turn happens next week and like the Riot Squad and Alexa Bliss and whoever helps this person win that match, you're not beating Ronda Rousey. You're not taking the championship. Ronda Rousey is not losing the championship till WrestleMania, so who cares what happens? Who cares? So we started off with Alicia Fox versus Bayley. Bayley wins this one after about 15 minutes, I believe, with a Bayley to belly. Then Dana Brooks come out, and I think Dana Brooks had the shortest time in this match because everyone else got at least one commercial break in their matchup between between each other. Dana Brooks was in and out like that with the Bayley to belly for the 1, 2, 3. We go to commercial, we come back, and it's Bayley versus Mickie James. Bayley, I don't know I don't know if this is part of their change or something, but Bayley got to show off resiliency and showed what she used to be like in NXT. It felt like NXT Bayley was in this match tonight because she went up against Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox, beat them, but she had a tough time and her knee got compromised in the first matchup, and that kind of affected her. But she ends up falling to Mickie James. Mickie James won on against Ember Moon. Ember Moon beat her with the Eclipse. And then we had Ember Moon versus Natalya. Natalya ends up beating Ember Moon. Natalya wins that one with I think it was a roll-up, actually. She didn't beat her with the sharpshooter. Natalya went up against Ruby Riott, beat her, and then it came down to Sasha Banks and Natalya. And I was half the thinking that they were going to not give us the match that everyone's been wanting to see for months. And the match that was supposed to happen at TLC was originally going to be a heel Natalya versus Ronda Rousey after Natalya turned heel. But unfortunately, due to the death of Jinder Anvil Neidhart, they did not want to turn Natalya heel out of respect of her father, which I think is just fucking asinine. Just because somebody passed away that shouldn't throw away, it's her father, okay, that's great. You could have used that for heel heat easily, but you didn't. You decided to use it to get her sympathy by having Ruby Riott break a pair of her dad's glasses, which, by the way, she wore another pair last night, which nobody wants to mention that. This was a good portion right here. Sasha Banks got a half crab on Natalya. Natalya ends up winning with the sharpshooter. So next week we will have Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Ronda Rousey does come out to shake hands with her friend and give her a hug. I was honestly half expecting Ronda Rousey to shake hands with Natalya and Natalya just pull her in a decker or something. But no, we didn't get that. So what actually changed so far? We have 6 NXT call-ups so far. Will they only be coming to Raw? I honestly don't know. I don't think so. I think it's going to be 2 men on each for Raw, 2 men for Raw, 2 fans for SmackDown, 1 woman for Raw, and 1 woman for SmackDown. I could be absolutely wrong, especially if we go to SmackDown tomorrow night and one or the other. If we get 6 more call-ups, but if we have 6 more call-ups, that's going to be 12 superstars coming from NXT at the same time. And in my opinion, that is just a little too much. 6 is enough. And I don't know if we're going to have any more call-ups when it comes to the, after WrestleMania. A lot of people thought we were getting a draft tonight, and that didn't happen. There was a lot of speculation that we were going to get a draft, but so far, not so good. There really wasn't anything good about this show, outside of seeing Tyler Breeze and the fact that we're getting 6 NXT Superstar call-ups, 3 that I kind of saw coming. Like I said, EC3 should have been in NXT from WrestleMania weekend, probably to Survivor Series, and been called up. He really didn't need to be down in NXT for last longer than he was. Nikki Cross made sense. She's been in NXT, and she really has nothing else to do there. I mean, the Bianca Belair saga between her and Bianca Belair is not going to have a finish because Bianca Belair is on to probably challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. So what else is there to do? And the her role in the Aleister Black attack is already happened. So there's nothing left to do. And she had her match against Candice LeRae, even though that was on the Aftermath show. I think that should have happened on TakeOver, but that's just me. So that we will have to wait and see. But honestly, I don't see anything changing next week and the week after that, because we have Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve for the next 2 Mondays, and Christmas Day and New Year's Day next week for the next Tuesdays after this week. So any change that could possibly be happening, I don't see till we get closer to Rumble. If not after the Royal Rumble. But that was your Monday Night Raw review. Short, sweet, but there wasn't much else to say. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Make sure to find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. And I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live. We have a new women's champion. Let's see what happens with that. And the biggest question that I'm wondering about this is because they did not name a new general manager. What does that mean for Paige? Paige is the SmackDown Live general manager. With the McMahons taking on control of Raw and SmackDown, will Paige still be GM tomorrow? Or is she done and they'll have her be a producer in the back? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll find out tomorrow together, I guess. Until then, I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good one.